Hello, and I hope everyone is having a fabulous Friday. I just got off work myself. Very tired, but we're here. As you see, it is just me today, so I hope you were fine with being stuck with just Mocha. But if you can, send your positive and prod vibes to Miss Kim, who is in Pensacola Prod with Joel. Um, we'll talk a little bit about Joel in a minute when we talk about our sponsors. But first and foremost, I am Princess Mocha, and I am the president and co-founder of the Rainbow Support Group. Now, today's live isn't going to normally be an hour since I kind of got started late. I didn't get home until just a few minutes ago. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. And if you've never been here before, welcome. Do comment, because I will be trying to manage both at the same time. With that being said, I also need to log in to my page, see if you comment on there. But while I'm doing that, how is everybody? Comment and tell me who's here. Also, if you would like to see me talk about anything before I get into the actual content of the video today, go ahead and comment and see what you would like to talk about, whether it's something you're dealing with or just something you'd like to hear us talk about. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Dustin. How are you guys doing? And if you're new, I also want to remind you that not only do we do Friday support lives every 2 weeks, the second Tuesday of every month, we have a WebEx meeting, which is kind of like Zoom, if you've ever used Zoom. It's like a private video call. But it kind of brings back the connection that we used to be able to bring with our physical meetings. So I encourage each of you to join and send us your email or send us a message through our Facebook page, the Rainbow page, not personal, and let us know that you're interested. The last few meetings we've had a good turnout. And you hear me and Kim talk about it all the time. Normally you are watching us from a phone or a computer right now, watching us talk. But with the WebEx, you can still do that, but we get a chance to hear what you have to say to us and what you want to hear us talk about and discuss things that are on your mind and things that you're having to deal with. Because we go on and on saying that we're here to help you. So by all means, if you need us, we want to talk about it, and it's all confidential. So please let us know if you want to do that. That next meeting is going to be on the 8th of June. That'll be that second Tuesday. They're going to start at 7, and then we will go live like this afterwards. So even if you don't get to come to the WebEx meeting, you can join us on live afterwards. The lives were intended to have a generalized briefing of what happened during the meeting. The meeting is where the love and the connection is. That's where we talk about our coming out stories. That's where we talk about our backgrounds, our hopes for the futures, things that we're having trouble dealing with on a daily basis that you just want someone else to connect with and hear you. We talk about our circle of control, character development, coming out stories. We have all kinds of glorious topics that we missed out on due to COVID. Those are topics that we won't talk about on live. Got a new Chromebook a few days ago. Okay, Dustin. Do we look a little bit better? I hope so. But yes, like I said, Miss Kim is in Pensacola, so she's doing prod. That is one good thing that we also get to look forward to for this year is prod. One of the things COVID took away was that ability to go to prod festivals. And we actually have a few states that are doing prod, so we need to go to them. We've talked about how important it is, even before COVID, to go to prod. It does seem like a party, but it's not just a party. The true intention of prod is to raise our voices for equality and stand together as one, united. And that's what we need to make sure really happens this year. I know Upstate Pride's having a Black Pride on the 26th, and then the regular Pride's going to be on the 30th in October. Um, Atlanta's going to have their Pride. I hear Charlotte's having one. Columbia, talks of Columbia Pride. Um, I was in Knoxville a few weeks ago, and Knoxville, unfortunately, will not be having a Pride. Their Pride will be going virtual. And I hear I think Michigan is also doing that. So be thankful that we are having one. And if not, go to a state that's having one. Travel. We went hiking this past on Sunday. And it was amazing, as always. You know, we love hiking. We love the outdoors. We had a good turnout. We took a before picture. I was going to put it on here, but we took a before picture. And we're all happy. We're all sitting there. We're ready for the hike. And right before we took the before picture, I was like, okay, so this is the before, which means we got to take one after. But we didn't take an after picture. Everybody was wiped out. There were a few of us that took like separate pictures, but not like a group picture. Hi, Becky. Evening. What are you up to, Becky? Becky, we'll be talking about field day in just a minute. I was talking about hiking and how we took a before picture, and I wanted an after picture because I want you to see what we look like before and after. You know, just for us. Wasn't gonna post it on Facebook. The before one, yes, but nobody could make it for the last one. We were so tired. Everybody was just wore out. I was like, there is no getting them together for a group picture without getting my head like bitten off. But we all had a blast. It was a fun time. I encourage you to come to the next hiking event. We'll be having one next month. We do not have a date yet. We are actually waiting on several people to get back with their schedules and their availability, and then we're going to decide a date. Sunday seemed to work out the best for us. And we go to Table Rock. Table Rock is so beautiful, and there's so many hiking trails to go on. There's so many activities to do. There's actually like a little beach area where you can get in the water, you can paddle boat, you can kayak. So we're really liking Table Rock. Now, the next time we go, like you see on the flyers, we actually pay your entry in. So the $6 that you have to pay, you just tell them you're at the Rainbow Support Group, and we're having an event today, and they'll let you in. Sitting on the front porch, enjoying this beautiful evening. It has been beautiful. It was raining a little bit, but it seems to be a lot better now. Kind of cooled it down a little bit. Still humid. That's one thing about South Carolina that I can't get over the humidity. White waterfalls. Yes, Table Rock does have several waterfalls, and a lot of wildlife. Y'all probably saw my pictures on Facebook the last time I was definitely a nerd when it came to the hiking, because I took pictures of every like beautiful plant I saw, or every beautiful tree, or if it was a butterfly. Like, I took pictures of it all. I kind of had a new way of looking at it. You know, I've always appreciated hiking. You know, as a Taurus, I am a very earth-bound creature, and that is where I go to ground myself. But I definitely took a different perspective at it this time, because COVID kind of didn't force me in the house. I mean, it kind of did, just because they, you know, with quarantine and whatever. But if I didn't want to stay at home, I wasn't going to stay at home. But it was on a mass level to where you really, me being a diabetic, thought it was going to be life-threatening if I caught COVID. So I didn't take the chance to appreciate those small moments in life, like hiking. Or there was actually a member hiking who was not going to get in the water. I hope you're watching this. I won't say your name. Hi, Nikki. She wasn't going to get in the water because she didn't want to ruin her leggings. She had some bomb-ass leggings. But towards the end of it, she said, I'm not going to decline myself the little things in life anymore. And that meant so much to me. Because I think everybody should, This next hiking, if you don't like hiking, just come out and enjoy the fresh air with us. And I can guarantee you're going to have a good time. I wish I could make it, but Sunday is the day we spend with Granny for lunch and cards. No, I totally get that. Yes, if you already have Sunday plans, yes, stick to them. If you're not doing anything at all, then I definitely want you to get in the car. Because like I said, we're paying your way in. You just got to get there and get back. Well, if you can get there, we can even help you get back. But it's important to go outside and feel the sunshine, take in the fresh air. So yes, look out for a next hiking event. We had a field day. You remember last live we talked about going to a field day in Colombia because we were going to have a demonstration on the bill that they were trying to pass, trying to ban trans youth from sports and school activities. So we met at the White House. The White House. I wish we met at the White House. We met at the State House in Colombia and took a picture. Becky, if you're still in here, do you know where the actual official group picture is? Is it on the SC United page? So we're going to share that on the Rainbow because I was there, Kim was there, Lee was there, Becky was there from Free Moms Hugs. Gender Benders were there, P Flag, Deb Foreman, they were all there. It was fun. We met there first for the picture and some speeches, and then we met at the MLK Park right down the road. I actually did not know this until a few days later, that park used to be whites only back in the day. And then they integrated the park. So that park already kind of had some, political history. And I actually didn't know about that. And I thought that was very cool. Becky, did you know that? SC Equality page, I think. Okay, yeah. I'm going to look because I haven't seen that posted yet. But we did take a lovely picture in front of the State House on the steps. And then we met at MLK Park. They had HIV testing. They had COVID vaccines if you wanted to go and get your shot. They had some food. We played kickball. All kinds of. It felt like a mini prod. And like I said, with hiking, COVID took that away. And so I'm looking at everything now with a new perspective. I enjoyed just being around that many people again, sitting down and watching everyone just have a ball, feeling everyone's energy. It felt great. And I encourage every opportunity you get to go do that. Don't deny yourself the pleasures, the little pleasures to make yourself happy because they are important. Let's see. We do have some sponsors down at the bottom. You'll see them scrolling. I want to go ahead and mention them. Our first one, Out of Bounds, out of Greenville, one of the largest LGBT suppliers in South Carolina. They were struggling during COVID, just like many of us. They were struggling on a business level, and they need our help. So I encourage you to stop by, put your name in the hat, find something, because I'm sure you can walk in and find at least one item and then help them in the process. Even if not, you can go and they have some resources. If you just want to chat, if you wanted some information on certain products, they can help you. Our next one, we talked about Dole earlier. Dole has always been a friend of mine and Kim's and a member of the Rainbow from the start. He is now an insurance broker, and he can help you get insurance or answer any of your insurance questions. And his practice is called Carolina Partners. I encourage you to check them out. All of these sponsors have links and stuff on our website, which is www.rainbowsupportgroupsc.org or .com. Both will take you to the same site. And our third one, Amaryllis Counseling out of Greenville. It was founded by LGBT people, and they're here to help, just like us, just on a grander scale. So I encourage you to check all of those three out. And we need to help them if they need, we need to, when it comes to like Out of Bounds, they've supported us for so long, unconditionally. And I think it's time for us to really help them since they need it. And before, we only have about 15 minutes left, but the topic that I wanted to talk about today was some self-improvement techniques. Um, and it kind of goes in with a lot of other things like character development you see us talk about. So, before I get into these, there's like 11 steps. I want to read a little piece of some information out of, we also have some pics on the free mom side. Okay, Becky. Hi, Tessa. Thanks for joining. Okay, this is on our road to relaxation out of our stress book. And this is a section on blame, and I thought it was very interesting, and I'm going to read it for you. It's only a page, it's not very long. From an early age, we are taught that if we commit a misdemeanor, we will be held to account for it. Thus, we learn about error and culpability. At a fundamental level, these lessons are necessary for us to share in sustaining a safe, peaceful community. However, we often take the idea of culpability out of its social context and apply it at a personal level. In the process, we might introduce our own forms of error, perhaps blaming another for our own misjudgment. This scapegoat to whom blame is attached in order to absolve the guilt of a whole group is a commonplace of psychology. If we blame another person, we will often find ourselves in an atmosphere of playground warfare. Blame is passed back and forth like a tennis ball, and eventually the situation gets out of control, and the feelings aroused are out of all proportion to the situation. Factions may start to form, and the factionism is the lowest form of politics. When we point the finger, three fingers point back at us. You know, I heard that in elementary school, and that's still true today. Blame is wrong because at best, it involves gross simplification. At worst, a projection onto others of our own responsibility for error. As with any chronically negative response, its effects are corrosive. Blame destroys peace of mind by absorbing us in an unworthy project. To be able to find peace, we must first cultivate honesty, the courage to accept our own failings and acceptance, the misunderstanding that we have no control over the failings of others. Blame is an agitated reaction that can achieve no good result. It is an experience that has no place in the emotional repertoire of anyone who seeks relaxation. And I love just about every word of that because I think everybody's guilty of experiencing one form of blame, if not all. Let's see. From time to time, we might feel tempted to pass the blame in apparent vindication of ourselves, even though at least some of the fault may lie with us. In this way, we risk initiating a chain of blame. Such chains are conduits for negative energy. It is also more constructive to break the chain. Even though this might involve admitting more responsibility than we feel, the following questions provide a good basis for which you may evaluate any situation in which blame plays a part. And it says adapt them to suit your purposes. So the first one, what is the apparent cause of the conflict? Is there really something else at issue beyond the one at hand? So, like, is there really an underlying thing that's really causing this reaction? Perhaps there is an ulterior motive driven by a grudge or jealousy. Can you break the blame chain? The blame chain by explaining this motive? Okay, so right there, it's teaching you to pick up on signs when you feel that things are, that the frequencies are getting off and things are going from positive to a negative. It's wanting you to try to look beyond it. I had a phone call. I had a phone call. Don't call me while I'm on here. If you are not the first in the chain of blame, why would others see fit to blame you? If you were not at fault, how might you diffuse the situation? And that's like the first one. They want you to find the underlying problem, because if there's an opportunity for you to end it before it gets to an extent where you can't repair it, then you need to take that action, that baby step. What would you lose if you accepted responsibility for the conflict? That's one of the things is responsibility. A lot of us don't want to own up to what we do because of the outcome. WE Tech. We teach this in the university during fire office class. Good subject. Okay, excellent. See? Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay, I thought I was going crazy for wanting to go over a subject like this. Okay, thanks. And if y'all have some notes that you can give us, like if you take anything that you find interesting, share it with us. Because like Kim and I say, if you can teach us and we can teach you, then both of us can take something from it. Would it matter to you? Would it matter if you failed to pursue your feeling of guiltiness? Would your self-esteem suffer? And those are all important questions to ask. And sometimes those are the things that are stopping you from doing what's right. How might peace be declared? Can the whole issue that is at stake be sidestepped or ignored? What would happen if you proceeded as if the blame chain did not exist? Sometimes it is easier, to walk away. If it doesn't concern you and there's nothing you can do to diffuse the situation, walking away might be your best option in some cases. Number one for self-improvement. We only have about 7 more minutes. Practicing gratitude daily. Believe it or not, practicing what seems to be the lost art of gratitude can boost your overall happiness. Nowadays, we're really not grateful enough for all the awesome stuff we have access to in life. And how simple does that sound? Gratitude. Be thankful for the little things. Be thankful for everything. I know some of y'all do not want to hear this, but even I am failing in this subject. Hitting the gym at least every other day. I used to hate going to the gym and working out. However, I'm at a point now where if I don't go for a few days, I start to feel sluggish, run down, and weak. It's that feeling that shows me my body's not decaying, that sore feeling. He says, the author, I'm actually addicted to feeling sore after a workout. If you hit the gym at least 4 times a week, you get a serious energy boost for the days you're not working out. It feels fantastic. And I want to feel that. I actually, I didn't pay attention to it when I was in karate, but you did work out 4 days out of the week. And you had energy on the days that you were off. And I'm just now piecing that together. Maybe some of you are too. And maybe that will encourage you to go to the gym. Because we talked earlier in the year about how important it was for us to get healthy and go outside. That's why we're doing the hiking outdoors. Maybe our next step is to plan like a little rainbow gym meet, and we'll all go to the gym and work out for an hour. Not only will we be able to talk to each other, and vent if we need to, we can go to the gym and actually work out some of the steam. Number 3, and Kim would love this one if she was here, but number 3 is stop watching the news. And this author says, I hate watching the news. I won't often read newspapers or turn on any news channels or TV. Why? It's depressing. Let's be honest. It sucks. And you know it. I'm trying to skip out some of the stuff that I don't want to say on live. At the end, it says, sure, there's a lot of bad stuff that goes on in the world. We all know it. And it seems like it hasn't. It seems like 2016 hasn't been the best of years. Now, this was back in 2016. Can you imagine how this author would write it now? But I agree. The news does. You could have a positive day at work, come home, turn on the news, and that good positive flow that you had going through the day kind of goes down the drain when you watch the news and you see all the bad stuff that's happening. And for us, Kim and I consider ourselves very empathic. That can be very saddening just to hear what's happening. And yes, it aids or progresses negative energy. Stays. I know the current events. That's the only reason why I get on the news. I love reading the articles that keep you updated with daily events that's happening in politics and stuff like that. But the news gets very repetitive about it. So if you can maybe limit yourself to watching the news, through get the gist of what's happened in the day, because I do get that you want to stay on top of current events, and that is very important. But watching the news constantly, I worked at a hotel and we had the news running 24/7, and I can see how that would set the atmosphere. If you're trying to get away from this positive energy, you don't want to have that going in the background with all this negative stuff, because the world is crazy right now. So there's not a lot of positive stuff for the news to talk about. And if it is, it's, stuff about celebrities or stuff that you don't really want to or need to spend that much time out of your day dedicated to that. Because what have we said this year? Our time is very valuable. And from this year and every year on, we're going to make sure we know that our time is valuable, and we need to spend our time doing things for us that's going to make us happy and keep us healthy. With an hourly recap, yeah, it gets very repetitive. Exactly. But I do agree, Dustin, to stay on top of current events. Just limit it. Ask for help when it's needed. We say that there is no shame in asking for help. And I say that because I still trouble. Like, I still am struggling with asking for help. Kind of like what we talked about earlier, it looks like a shot to your ego or your self-esteem to ask for help. It might make you look weak, but there's no shame in it. And if you need help, we want you to ask for it. Because we are realizing if we need help, we're going to start asking for it. And let's see, the last one I want to go over, and then we'll save the rest for the next time. Where is it? Well, I don't find it, but we'll go with this one's number 8. Building a positive environment around you. For a positive life, you need to surround yourself with positivity and encouragement. There's a speech I listened to the other day, and the gist of it went a little like this. If you run a race with people that aren't as good as you, yeah, you'll win. But if you run a race with people that are better than you, you might come in last, but your time will be better. Surrounding yourself with positive and like-minded people pushes you harder than usual. So even if you think you're being productive in comparison to the people you're currently hanging around with, you might be able to do so much more when you make yourself the weakest link in a circle of friends. And I like that because that kind of puts your gear in a different setting, in a different shift. Surrounding yourself with positive and like-minded people pushes you harder than usual. And that's something I want us to carry over into the next support love. That's where we're going to leave off for next time, is where to go from that. How do you Why does that sound negative? But the outcome is actually positive. A strong leader has help, advisors. You are right. All of you are right. I struggle with asking for help as well. Ultimately, I end up overwhelmed and not in a good space. Yes, Becky, me too. Trust me, I hate asking for help. I'm just like y'all, I hate it. I hate it. But I have to. Because if I don't, I do end up overwhelmed. And then what does being overwhelmed cause? Stress. And what have we talked about? We've talked about stress before. All of the outcomes of stress. These are the symptoms from stress alone. And there's a whole category of emotional, then there's behavioral, physical, psychological. That's a whole other topic. And we could totally continue that. I'm going to write that down for next time too. How it all relates to stress, because we kind of started off our year talking about stress and now we're talking about self-improvement. But it always goes back to double back because it is important. I end up overwhelmed and not in a good space. And that's completely true. That's the thing that, a lot of us overlook. Positive criticism is beneficial and wise. And that's, a few lives ago, I talked about how I am myself's biggest critic. Other people, I want you to listen to their criticism, not as an insult, but to listen to it and to see how they perceive you from their perspective. That'd be a good topic to talk about, Tyler. Positive criticism. I'm gonna write all these down so we can start off live next time talking about these. Asking for help. That was number 8. And remember, if you want to be in our WebEx meeting where we're really going to go into details like this, our next WebEx meeting, we're actually going to talk about our coming out stories. I'm going to share my complete coming out story with you guys. It's not the best, but I am going to share it with you because it is important and it helps us connect on a deeper level. You don't have to share yours. It's completely optional, but I would like you to be in to listen in while other people are sharing their personal stories in case you have anything that you can add that would help them. Or you can take something from what they say to help yourself, and both is very important. Constructive criticism, yes, correct, Dustin. Asking for help, and what else was it? All right, so yes, you will see us again. You'll see some posts from Kim. She's in Pensacola Pride. Happy Pride. But you'll see us again on the 8th of June. If you need anything, message us, email us, and we'll see you on the WebEx meeting.